What's good, everybody? It's your host, Juice, and this is Cognac Conversations, where the guests are organic, the dialogue is authentic, and the drinks are simply my favorite. I want to introduce my guest today. He's a comedian. He owns a clothing line. He's a promoter, and overall, he's a stand-up guy. We got my guy with me today, the worldwide Rue. What it do, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm here.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
to be here,
How you doing? You know,
hey, that was an amazing intro.
Yeah, I practice it a bunch of times.
I see.
I practice it. I say it.
Like,
I say it when I'm driving. I say it in the shower. I got to make sure that it flow right.
I'm like, damn, not my nigga professional in this room. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, so we're going to have some fun today. We're going to get right into it. For those of you who don't know Rue is a comedian. Really funny guy. We're going to get into, talk about his comedy journey, talk about his journey to the DFW, some of his business that he got going on. So, Rue, getting right into it. Where you from?
Born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So,
okay.
South Memphis, Tennessee to be exact.
Yeah. South Memphis. Okay.
I know people be like, oh, where you from? Orange, man. Yeah. South Memphis. So,
South Memphis, South Memphis, South Memphis. For sure.
That's me.
For sure. So, Rue, let's get right into it, man. Talk about your experience growing up in the M.
I would say growing up in the M is definitely rough. It's fun as a motherfucker.
Right.
We check all day.
Right. Oh yeah, you gotta be tough.
You gotta be tough.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would definitely go back in a heartbeat. I always had fun in Memphis. Like,
for sure.
This shit definitely made you stronger. So when you first face diversity or not diversity,
adversity.
Yeah, that one. When you face whatever you face with, like, you just gonna end up laughing and just be like, man, fuck this shit. We just gonna do what we gonna do. So
right.
It can be a good and a bad place because you can fuck up your mentality, but you come out,
and you one of the success stories out of Memphis because you made it out. So your journey out of Memphis started when you went to college, right?
Right.
So, and you never looked back.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
Okay. You might have peeked back, but
I left them in the review.
Yeah. Nah. I'm not saying that in the wrong way, but it's all about elevation. Elevation.
Yeah, it would.
That's good, man. That's good. So how did you end up in Dallas though?
So after I went to school in Ohio at Bowling Green,
right.
My sister and my mom had moved to Dallas because they couldn't find no jobs in Memphis.
Right.
So I wanted to still stay in Memphis, but my dad was like, man, you need to go. And he would do like little slick shit, like he would just keep putting brochures on my bed. So every time I came home, it was like an army brochure.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, what the nigga trying to tell me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm staying here. He like, nah, your weak ass got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So eventually once she had her triplets, I ended up eventually just moving with them to help them and shit. Just been here ever since, bro.
Okay. So that's your big sister, your little sister?
My big sister.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm actually the baby. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. The baby of the bunch. Nah, man. I know you probably thought Pop was trying to push you out the door, but he was pushing you to grow.
Nah, he was on. He always kept telling me like, ain't shit here in Memphis, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I wish I had left, so I'm pushing you to leave. So.
Yeah. Nah, I like that. You know what I mean? Pops, shout out to Pops. So how long you been in Dallas?
14 years.
Oh shit. So you seen a bunch of changes in DFW. Right?
Man, it wasn't nothing to do when I got here.
Okay.
When I first moved here, I moved to DeSoto. The most exciting thing was going to that Walmart in DeSoto. It was a Walmart DeSoto out Belline.
Yeah.
That's why I used to go meet everybody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
kind of like some shit we do back home, go to Walmart. Yeah. So I feel you. Okay. So you came in 14 years, you've done a bunch, right? You've done a bunch. So, you promote, you got the clothing line. I actually got the pants on right now.
I appreciate that. I spotted that when I came.
Yeah, I like it. I rep you, bro. I went to Houston a few weeks ago. I had the green shirt on. People ask me about it. I sent them to your page. So
appreciate that.
I appreciate you. But it's all love. And then the one topic that I do want to start with before we get in everything else, bro. Tell me about this art overdose. I see it all the time. I see y'all post it. It look dope, but I don't know about it. So tell me about it. Tell the people that's gonna watch this about it. What is Art Overdose?
So Art Overdose is where like culture meets, black artistry. It's just kind of like a clash of black excellence.
Mm-hmm.
So we have artists that are there, they're painting, doing live paintings, and it's like one of the biggest shows where black artists, because they don't really have a place where they can sell their art.
Okay.
Like just in Dallas and just know the place where they can actually sell, they make something and then go somewhere and sell it. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have that many venues without getting commission tax on whatever they sell.
Yeah.
So we don't take like any of their commission. Like we just let them come sign up, we select people, and then we just let them sell it. So we try to bring, try and close that gap, because it's like, if you don't go to Art Overdose, you don't know who really is a good ass painter, who really artistic, who can have some shit that's in your room. You know what I'm saying? Just like some dope ass paintings. But we also team up with like Black Canvas, and they have like live bands, singers, poetry. Like we had Black Caesar, he performed. K-Rose, she just performed. We've had Jason Lyric, he's performed. So a lot of just different artists that are known in the city too. So we have that, and then we also combined it with having vendors.
Right.
So giving those small businesses a place to actually go and sell their merchandise when now you know that you want to have a business. So it's like everybody's not as fortunate to run into 1,000, 1,100 people. So what can we do to bring them and to help them make some money and grow their business too?
Oh, so Art Overdose is a big thing. You talking about 1,000 people. So when, let me ask you this. When are y'all doing it again?
July. We haven't picked a date, but I know it's going to be in July because we do it like 3 times a year.
I want to tap in with you. I want to make sure that I'm a part of that in some form, right? So whether that's me being there just to purchase something, I want to experience that. I'm all about.
You should. Actually, we just announced yesterday where we partnering up. We're going to do an art installation and an art exhibit for Togetherland Festival that's coming here Memorial Day weekend.
I'm going to say this once again. Togetherland, y'all tap in with us. Cognac Conversation, we can pull up, we can set up a booth or do something. So tap in with us. That's real. So I like this whole Art Overdose thing.
Shout out to the team though, too, the Art Overdose team. Let me make sure I put them all. It's Eric, it's Lauren, it's Marcus. It's Marcus, it's Lauren, it's Eric. It's all 4 of us, and we started it in 2019.
Okay, definitely shout out to the team, man. I know Eric is E. Grayson, right?
Right.
So who is Marcus and Lauren?
Marcus Chappelle. So everybody's actually dope individually too. Yeah. So Marcus has, I don't know if you've seen Urban Trivia. He's one of the owners of Urban Trivia. Okay. So he's been going across the nation doing that. That's been blowing like crazy. And Lauren, obviously, LMAX, she does literally all the flyers. One of the coolest graphic designers here in the city. So she really got her hand on a lot of stuff. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I've heard. I think Lauren did work with us before, so that makes sense. That's dope, bro. Like I said, I want to be a part of that. So whether it's just me coming out to support some of the vendors or whatever, but I'll definitely be checking your page out and looking for that. Art Overdose. I like that. So getting into Art Overdose. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're getting a little refill. Yeah. That's for you.
Look at this.
Yeah, there you go. Now, hold on. Since she refilled it, we're going to stay right here and we're going to take this.
Hey.
Yeah. Shout out to Simply Fate.
I always wanted to be on these podcasts where the girl come out.
Hey, I think we're official right now. Yeah, we just, look. All right, so if y'all didn't think we was official before, we're official right now. Destiny just walked across the camera and refilled the drink. You know what I mean? We're going to put her Cash App on here so y'all can tip her too.
Mm-hmm. It's something about seeing the girl walk across the camera on the podcast. You be like, damn, she fine as a motherfucker. You know
Okay.
Something about it. Whenever they see you on the podcast, they gonna be like, damn, who is that, Rue? Yeah, be like, bro, there's some girl that they had up there making drinks, bro.
We're gonna make sure as soon as she come across the screen, we're gonna put her ad at the bottom. You know what I mean? So we're gonna put her ad in her Cash App. Y'all send her something.
She trying so hard not to laugh. I'm like, nigga, you can laugh.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun today, man. So, Art Overdose, like I said, that's cool, but I want to tap into the next thing. The next thing for me is, let's talk about comedy, bro. You funny as hell, naturally. You're from Memphis, so you already said it, right? You said the fact that you got to know how to check. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. One of my first experiences in Memphis, from a checking standpoint, was we went to this
probably some with a lot of people.
It was after April, bro. And so our school went.
Check your ass in.
Our school went, and there was a bunch of Memphis school there. And one of my homeboys, I ain't gonna say his name, but he had a big ass collar shirt on. And a female got on his ass. I gotta say it like I'm back home. A female got on his ass, bro. And the part that fucked me up was when she said a joke, she said a second one right behind it.
You can't
And then
stop.
she said a third one. Like, she didn't
Can't
breathe.
stop.
And she had about 4 or 5 cats around her, and all they did was laugh the whole time. Bro, she checked my homeboy so bad. We were walking, like we walked away from him, like, man, damn them. We looked back, bro had a white t-shirt on. Like, bro, what happened to your shirt? He took it off and threw it in the garbage.
That's the thing about me, because the girls be checking too, so you just never know who you run up on, and then you be like, damn, they fired his ass up.
Facts. It was fast. So that's naturally in you, but comedy different than chicken, all right? Like, because you gotta have some presence, stage presence. It's a few factors that come into that. So let's talk about your comedy journey. When did you know that you wanted to do comedy?
Honestly, man, I always, like, my mom would always let me watch Def Comedy Jam when I was small.
Yeah.
So I always seen Martin Lawrence, and I always knew I wanted to host like that, like how I wanted their reaction. So I always loved the way he made people feel, you know what I'm saying? And just would say whatever, and niggas would go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So then even I always been the funny person in my family, been the funny person in my class, been the funny person in my school. First time I really got to do comedy, I would say, like, was probably high school.
Yeah.
I did the talent show maybe my 10th grade year.
Okay.
And I did it every year after that. So it was just like every year I would do that. And then when I went to college, everybody started figuring out I was funny. So maybe my sophomore year, I did like the BSU fashion show, which is like a big deal. Then I started doing all our step shows.
Yeah.
I did that all the way through college. Like whenever we bring comedians, or then we had like Lil Duval, and like anytime we bring comedians to the school, I would open up for them.
Okay.
Like I would bring them out, but I'm still just not even thinking that I'm funny.
Right.
Like I'm just college funny. So I just never really thought about like, hey, what I'm gonna say. I'm just going out there. Like, and then once I moved to Dallas, I actually ended up going to like a comedy school. I didn't even tell people about that. I went to a comedy school when I first got here. It was at the Improv.
Okay. So how long was that?
It was probably like maybe a month or two, but I didn't stick with it.
Okay.
But it was like 2 or 3 people. One of the ladies that was it was 2 people that were in the class. I just had one of the guys. He was in my last comedy show. He was in the class with me. Another one of the young ladies, she's gonna be on the upcoming show that I got April 14th.
Okay.
But I did a class. Maybe it was like 6 weeks. It's cut with this guy named Dean Lewis. And that was the first time I started like trying to like craft jokes, but I didn't really want to take it serious. I was scared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's also like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what the fuck you gonna be a comedian? Like,
right.
So I had never thought about it. So I just kind of just went away from it. But I always watched what they was doing too. And oddly enough too, maybe after that, maybe me and Richie, we did like a lot of maybe like 2 or 3 comedy shows. That's when nobody knew Richie or whatever. Yeah. And that's why we still cool to this day. Like we did a couple comedy shows, and it was just maybe like 2 or 3 people there, and like a jazzy bitch. Like that was it.
Yeah, you know you from Memphis. You said a jazzy bitch.
It was like 3
niggas
niggas there.
Back home. 3
niggas and 1 jazzy bitch. That was all the people in the audience. So I would say then probably like 2019, my nephew passed away. He had autism.
Right. Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
No, you good. So he had autism, so he's nonverbal.
That makes sense why on your...
I pushed the autism.
Yeah.
My sister got the Autism Foundation.
Yeah,
because we started when we found out he had autism at like right around 18 months. We was close to 2. So when he passed away, he had bone cancer. So, but remember, he could never talk. He was nonverbal. And so some just always like, now you got the gift of speech and you don't use it.
You blessed, yeah.
Yeah, you blessed to do it. So I'm like, you really just owe yourself. So after that happened, I just started doing like a lot of small comedy stuff. So I hooked up with my homeboy, Josh Drake.
Okay.
And I always would see him doing comedy, but you know, when you're scared of something, you talk about people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that nigga ain't funny. He ain't this, he ain't that.
Yeah.
And I started watching him, and I'm like, damn, if he can do it, like, I know I should be out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he actually working on it.
He had the confidence.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm scared. So I ended up reaching out to him.
Okay.
And we were already friends before I even knew he started doing comedy. So then he like, all right, cool. So one day we at the living room. I just told him I'm gonna go up, did it. That nigga was like, bro, why you ain't tell me you was funny?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nigga, I'm that nigga. I ain't gotta tell you I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, he like, bro, we can take this shit over. You know, you do all the parties and this. And I'm like, hey, relax. So that was like maybe 2 years ago. So I just started practicing on my stuff, like doing small, like little comedy shit for like maybe like 2 years. And then not this year, but like the year before, I had just made a promise to myself I was just gonna do a comedy show. I was like, you did everything else you wanted to do, so I'm like, why not just do a comedy show?
So April 14th, you got the comedy show coming up. Where is it again?
TK's in Addison.
Okay, so what time?
2:00. Doors open at 2. Brunch bar gonna be served by like 2:30, and then we're gonna kind of get the comedy started around that time.
All right. So TK's Addison, April 14th. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna bring some people with me. I like this, you know. I like your story. So, but I want to go back to the comedy school. I never knew no such fucking thing exists.
Yeah,
So
they got like comedy books, like how to write a joke.
Okay.
How you just like graph your thoughts out. Like how you, because if you, somebody with a comedic mindset, you always just look at things differently anyway. Like, how can I talk about this, but make it, from my perspective, which is gonna be a funny perspective, no matter the way I deliver.
Yeah.
So just like always trying to work on that, and just like don't be scared. Like if you got a gift, you still got to nurture it and provide things to it and work it out too. So
So funny story. 12 years ago, I used to host parties. I used to be the man on the microphone at the club back home, and I'm not a comedian by any means, but I've hosted several roast and toasts, right? Where we do roast and toast. And so people used to tell me, like, bro, you should try comedy. I don't think I could ever do it, like truthfully do it. But I think I'm funny sometimes. So, but to hear that, that's big, bro. Like, I know people probably like, damn, every time you release one of these, you've done something. You're damn right. I've done a lot. That's why we're doing it now. We talking about the experience. So, but nah, man, I like that. Y'all go, make sure we're gonna go check them out. So whoever watched this, come with me. Let's go as a crowd. Like, let's eat, and then we're gonna tell Rue if he's funny. If he's not funny, we're gonna get on his ass too. So
let me know.
But I've seen his jokes already. I know he's funny. But so man, and you got the comedy going on. We got art overdose, so we're gonna keep going right into it. Let's talk about your clothing line. What's your brand?
So my brand is called Humble Flourish Brand.
Okay.
I've been doing it maybe 9 years now.
Okay. Are you a vet in the game?
So,
you a vet in the game.
I started it, it was probably like literally right around the time I started throwing parties. So maybe like 10 years ago, I guess. I started doing it right when I started throwing parties. That's why Eric owns it too, just nobody be doing it. Yeah, Eric owns it too.
So E. Grayson in the background making a bunch of moves.
Yeah, Eric got to be the one that gets a lot of credit for the other guys that own it with me are my homeboy Ike, my homeboy White. He was my roommate. He's had the original idea and just brought it out to us, and my other homeboy Jew. So it's 5 of us all together. 4 of us went to college together.
Right.
But it wasn't until I met Eric that he kept lighting the fire up under me. He like, bro, how much is going? Because he didn't even know what the word flourish meant for real. So one day we just at the barbershop, I'm like, man, I've been thinking about this clothing line shit. He like, okay, what you gonna call it? I'm like, flourish. And then that nigga Buster went home and looked up the definition. So he called me like early that morning. He like, bro, how much is it gonna cost for us to do this shit? I'm like, shit, I don't know, probably like $200. And I just, I'm kind of nervous about the $200. He like, bro, we spend $200 every weekend. Yeah. Like every day in the club. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, okay, you kind of own to some. So he was like a person that would just challenge you know what I'm saying? Hey, how can you grow? How can you get bigger? Yeah. And he like, bro, people fuck with you. Like, you underestimate niggas fucking with you. And shit, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't no slouchy nigga, so niggas gonna rock it. So that's really how it took out. We just had like one signature shirt. And that's when I literally started. I thought it was a good idea if I started throwing parties. So I'm like, Eric, when you throw another party, I'm gonna start throwing them with you. Yeah. And because we were already kind of like cool and hanging out more and more. So I'm like, well, shit, I ain't just finna be your friend, nigga. I'm trying to get some of this money. Right. So that's really how that came about, really.
Nah, that's crazy. And ideally enough, y'all, I wasn't even paying attention, but I kind of glanced down. I got a 5 Bistro shirt on right now. Shout out.
I saw that.
Shout out to the team, man. Like, yeah, this was definitely not planned. I didn't even know I didn't know that part about E. Grayson and what you do. So y'all check out the Bistro. They're my people over there. They always take care of me and show me love. But nah, that's big, man. That's big. Okay, so let me ask you this. What does humble flourish mean to you?
So it's more so like just having those 2 words juxtaposed to each other. which means they're kind of opposite. Like, hey, be humble but be flourished at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you just always want to be the best you can be in any environment, which is to flourish.
Right.
But you also want to be humble about it because it can be taken away from you at any time.
Right.
And you don't want to seem like you're better than the next person just
Right.
because you're flourishing at this point in time now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Nah, man. This is big stuff.
But yeah, man, we've been able. I've been really blessed with the clothing line. I can't lie, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It's been times where I've lost jobs, and that's been my only thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started looking at it differently, like just looking at my hustle differently.
Yeah.
And then shit, our shit been on Netflix, been on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
Draymond wore our stuff in the parade when they won the championship.
Okay.
Then we was able to sell them like out there, and the Warriors, one of the minority owners for the Warriors, ended up getting in touch with us, reaching out, and then we was end up selling them in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, this store called Dunk Contest. So
yeah, nah, that's big, man. That's big, bro. Like you got a bunch of positive things going for you. Nah, I appreciate it. You showed me plenty of love, bro. You showed me plenty of love on the clothes, so I definitely appreciate that.
That's when you've been doing it so long, bro. You ain't trying to hold no information because I know how it was for me trying to figure shit out.
Right,
so
right.
If I can carve out a nigga time, like shit, you ain't got to overthink this shit, my boy.
And you know what's crazy? Coming from Memphis, right? Coming from that area in the South, you know one of the things we always say, the game is to be sold and not told.
Oh, yeah.
But
it depends on what nigga is asking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like
now, one of the things that I want to say is I don't know how much gatekeeping will truthfully help you, right? Like you said, if you could carve it out, I appreciate that, bro. That's real. That's real. That's a gem right there. You know what I mean?
Because I ain't gonna get nothing from holding it.
yeah. Nah, that's real. That's real. I appreciate that. So, speaking of Memphis, we got something that we planning on coming up in the next month and a half. You know what I mean?
We do.
So talk to me about it. Let the people hear about it. Talk about this Memphis to Dallas weekend.
So we've already done one Memphis to Dallas weekend. I want to say 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, man, that shit was super dope. Just having the Memphis energy, and I don't even think I was aware of how much I miss home and just love the music. We having our Memphis to Dallas weekend. Shout out to Nikki B, Don Trevin, IMG, Crown Holders, Worldwide Rule, E Grace and Crown Holders. We got that coming up, so that's definitely on the way. Y'all gonna be in for a real good treat. So, you know what I'm saying, get your ears ready.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Like, it's not often too when you throw so many parties that you get excited about the weekly events, or you know what I'm saying, you got an event coming up. Like, that's how I am with Art Overdose. I'm like that with Memphis to Dallas weekend, just because it's a good time too, and it feels like home. Like,
yeah, bro. And
like me and you.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I gotta say it. Shout out to Ooey, Nikki B, man, and everybody,
Absolutely.
man, from J-Way, District 12, Fly Guy Tony, Marvin Todd, like everybody in Memphis, bro. I went home like 3 weeks ago, right? And I heard Memphis to Dallas weekend, and shout out to IMG so many times on the microphone, bro. Like, somebody came up to me and was like, damn, you must have paid them to promote. I'm like, nah. Like, they showed so much love, and I know that
I was gonna say, that's got to be some Nikki B. Nikki B always gonna show love.
Yeah.
And I respect her a lot just for being a woman in the game.
Facts.
And I always holding her nuts, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just bossing up. And I always tell her, like, man, Nikki, do what you want to do. Like,
real
you got
talk.
that energy.
She do.
Like, you got that. And I always tell her, like, you got good energy, you got good karma. So, man, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you tenfold.
Real talk, man. Nikki, like my little sister, bro. Like, we used to like go to lunch and shit out here. Before we went to the club, we'll go get food. And I would always tell her, and she'd be like, people don't respect me in the game. Make them respect you. And I'm gonna tell you, like, right now, she got that shit going crazy at the crib.
She do.
Like, she got that shit going crazy. And the one thing that Nikki does that don't happen in Dallas, Texas to me, she got the women having fun in the club. They be turned.
And I want to say, do you think that's just a Memphis thing where we just have more fun in the club? And, you know what I'm saying, the Dallas thing is we just a little bit, now everybody got their money, they laid back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't turning up like that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker don't give a fuck what they got to do at Memphis tomorrow. They turning up.
Nah, hell nah. Motherfuckers supposed to be at Nike on Shelby Drive, and they don't give a damn about that.
And then when you call somebody the next day, they gonna promote it too.
Yeah.
Like, you should have been in that whole last night,
Facts.
man. That hoes off the meat rack.
Yeah. Facts. You ain't lying, man. Like, that's one of the things that we missing is making the club fun again. So when Memphis pull up in Dallas, bro, I ain't gonna lie, they gonna show the fuck out. You
Every
know?
time.
And I'm gonna tell them, hey, stand on all this shit,
Every
right?
time.
Stand on all this shit because people need to see, you know, what we experienced growing up, right? And what we came from. And so that's why it makes it easy for us to come out here and be successful because nobody want to have fun for real. You just got to have the popping people around.
Yeah.
So, but now, bro, you know what I mean? That's big, man. You know, Ru, like I said, man, I appreciate you for coming through. But a couple things that I want to talk about, right? You're a new father, or not really new. How your son is now?
He actually is 6 months today.
Okay, yeah.
6 months today.
You still in that stage? He ain't even walking yet.
He trying to. Bro.
Yeah.
He trying to. He definitely trying
So
to.
congratulations on fatherhood, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
How
bro.
has that changed you though?
It changed like your outlook on your future and like what you do day to day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm a father with what I want somebody to show my son that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or if somebody had a video camera and they was showing them what I was doing, hey, that was your daddy.
Yeah.
What you want them, you know what I'm saying? Would you be happy with what you're doing or showing them? Like, or would you be upset and be like, damn, I ain't want to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more like retrospective. You're always thinking about shit and always thinking about like, how's it going to benefit him in the long run too.
Right.
So, and it's always weird looking at somebody that looks just like you.
Yeah, man, yeah. So that's big, man. I have a son now. He's 18 months. He big as hell. He bad as shit. I think God definitely paid me back for who I was growing up with him. I love my boy to death though. But I was a girl dad before. But having that son, man, having that boy, he has changed me a lot. He makes me grow up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you said, having somebody look like you. He lighter than me, but he looked just like me. He act like me. He frown his face up.
I think it's crazy to see your mannerisms in them so young.
Yeah, bro.
So it's like, I think I was doing something with my hair one day, and I think I looked over and I seen him doing
the same thing.
I'm like, nigga, how you doing it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think he knew what he was doing. Like, but like that's pretty wild.
Yeah, nah, man. And as he grows, you're gonna keep growing. So I can tell you that. But yeah, Ru, like I said, congratulations on that, man. I think we talked about some good stuff today. But I know I asked you for a couple things and I'm gonna run through them and then you just like touch on the ones that you want to touch on. And I asked you for like principles, right? One of the principles that you told me was live your truth. And I think that's big. At the end of the day, you got to be true to who you are. What does that mean to you?
I think live your truth is more so like just be, you know what I'm saying? Just be who you are and let people adjust to it after that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you like a certain thing or you like to do shit a certain way, like just do it.
Yep.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is how I am. It is what it is. Motherfucker gonna have to get with it or get lost at the end of the day.
Yep. I agree with that. And then so, a couple other things that, we've spoke about or you told me about is following your dreams. And I think that's big, but I want to tie that into flourish in all environments, right?
Right.
So I feel like you've told us that, but just touch on that for us. Like,
it just kind of means make sure you keep that whatever you dreamed about when you was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it was making people laugh.
Right.
Like it's something simple, but I can still bring it to reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I just never thought I was gonna be at a place where I could throw my own comedy shows, make people laugh, be in charge of my dreams, and continue to pursue it.
Yeah.
Whenever the fuck I want to.
Right.
So I mean, I just think that's cool as fuck, and I get to do it, wearing my own clothes, promote my own parties.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If people had told you what you doing now, like, even if you was little, they'd be like, man, you gonna host a podcast, you're gonna be like a real talk show, nigga. You're gonna be like, nigga, this nigga square as fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you start actually doing the shit that it was kind of wild to you growing up, but always piqued your interest, you're gonna just find out how naturally you are.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you gravitate to it too.
Yeah. And I can touch on that. You know what I mean? For myself, like I said, bro, it was me and T. Rogers. With Hennessy, I always tell this story. He had a Challenger with some foes on it. And
throw them foes up, Tootie.
Yeah. Throw them foes up.
Throw them foes up, Tootie.
Yeah, you hear me? I had a little growl on it, so you know what I mean? I hit the gas and make me feel like I'm in something.
That boy had all the hoes here, them foes on that thing.
I ain't right now. T. Rogers.
Any nigga that had a car growing up, when we grew up, you had some hoes. And if that hoe was semi-new, you had a bad bitch.
I'm going to find a picture of him. I'm going to find a picture of him standing in front of the car. He had an arm folded like a real player. You hear me? I'm going to find that picture. We're going to post it. We're going to post it on Cognac Conversation. But now, man, Ru, so I just want to take the time, bro, to say I appreciate you for coming through. I appreciate you for, me coming to Dallas 4 years ago having somebody outside of like T-Raj, outside of Dex, outside of the people that I already knew, you know what I mean, me, you, and then like instantly treat me like family, bro. I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for coming on to the show. And I'm just gonna tell you, man, toast up one more time with me before we get up out of here.
Come on with it.
All right. Hey, April 14th, don't forget at TK's in Addison.
Yes, sir.
We got the Brunch and Laugh, right?
Brunch and Laugh. It's all female comedians too. Some of the hottest female comedians that's out right now. All of them funny as shit. So.
Oh yeah, I said I was coming, but it's female. They ain't got no filter, so I might not be. No, I'm just playing. I'll be there. Pull up on us. All right, we out.